Have you ever wondered why, just as the US Navy reluctantly removed its costly 155mm advanced naval guns from the Zumwalt-class destroyers, the Chinese Navy was discovered conducting intensive tests on a new naval gun of the same caliber? What exactly is going on here? Here's the scoop. Foreign military websites have been buzzing lately after leaked photos surfaced showing a conspicuously large new gun turret aboard China's Type 910 integrated test ship. According to analysis by military enthusiasts at US-based Wartsony, this gun is likely the rumored 155mm naval gun currently under development. It's important to note that currently, the largest armament on Chinese Navy destroyers, whether the AK-130 used on earlier modern class vessels or the PJ-45 standard on modern 052D and 055 destroyers, all uniformly feature a 130mm caliber. If this 155mm project is successfully developed, it would represent a substantial leap forward. Why is everyone so fixated on this 155mm naval gun? Ultimately, it stems from both necessity and ambition. On the necessity front, coastal defense capabilities are growing increasingly formidable. Beyond the array of shore-to-ship missiles with ranges spanning hundreds of kilometers, take Russia's A-222 coastal defense gun. Its minimum effective range is 37 kilometers, easily matching the US Navy's current 127mm naval guns in a direct exchange. If your ship's guns can't reach the shore, your main battery becomes little more than an anti-aircraft weapon, losing half its functionality. Then there's the greed factor. A 155mm shell is larger, packs more propellant, and delivers far greater destructive power than a 130mm round. The Americans themselves assessed that a single 155mm naval gun, with its advanced cooling and fire control systems, can effectively replace 9 Marine Corps 155mm howitzers in combat, a deal that sounds pretty sweet. So why did the US Navy rush to remove the AGS system from the Zumwalt-class destroyers? The reasons are rather embarrassing. First, the shells are absurdly expensive, like throwing gold bars around. The specialized LRLAP, long-range land attack projectile, shells for the AGS cost a staggering $800,000 each. Crucially, to achieve its 140-150 km range, the warhead is relatively small. If it encounters heavily fortified targets, a single shot might not suffice, requiring multiple rounds. Calculating the cost, destroying a single target ends up being more expensive than launching a single Tomahawk cruise missile. So what cost effectiveness is there to this gun? Moreover, the technological approach has shifted. The US Navy now recognizes that in conflicts against peer adversaries like China and Russia, relying on warships firing cannons from close range to shore is highly vulnerable. Enemy anti-ship missiles would rain down relentlessly, leaving little chance to escape. It makes more sense to remove the guns and free up space for vertical launch systems for hypersonic missiles. Moreover, the Zumwalt-class itself has numerous issues and struggles to fully utilize the AGS's capabilities. Rather than leaving it as a display piece, it's better to repurpose it as a test for hypersonic missiles. Now, looking back at our Type 055 destroyer, if this 155mm naval gun project actually materializes, would it be installed? Personally, I think the likelihood is quite high. First, the Type 055 has a solid foundation. With its 13,000+ ton displacement, it's exceptionally stable and spacious, easily capable of withstanding the immense recoil force generated when firing a 155mm gun. While the existing 130mm guns are capable, upgrading to the more powerful, longer-range 155mm variant would significantly enhance surefire support capabilities, like adding a steel knuckle to a fist, making the punch hit harder. Second, the demand is clear. Unlike the US Navy's current focus on deep ocean engagements, our operational requirements emphasize close range, particularly amphibious fire support. Look at how we've been churning out amphibious assault ships like dumplings in a pot, even deploying new electromagnetic catapult systems like the Type 076, all preparing for this very purpose. A 155mm naval gun capable of striking targets dozens of kilometers away, and potentially hundreds with rocket-assisted projectiles, can operate safely beyond coastal defenses during amphibious assaults. It provides sustained, cost-effective, and devastating fire support for landing forces. This capability is invaluable. In many scenarios, it proves far more economical than expending expensive missiles to eliminate minor threats. At this point, we must address the issue of ammunition costs. The reason the Americans' AGS naval guns couldn't get off the ground was that they died because of the supporting ammunition. The LAP shells, custom made for the Zumwalt-class destroyers, were produced in limited quantities, resulting in horrendously high development costs per shell, each one costing as much as a Tomahawk missile. But the situation here is different. The 155mm caliber is the absolute backbone of Army artillery. This means that if the Navy adopts a 155mm naval gun, it could achieve complete or at least technical interoperability with Army ammunition. Guidance components and range-extending technologies have long been matured in Army shells, leveraging massive production volumes. The cost of a single precision-guided artillery shell can be driven down to the tens of thousands of dollars range. The math is compelling. Deploying tens of thousands of dollar shells against targets unworthy of million-dollar missiles, such as enemy beach fortifications, assembled troops, radar stations, or even intercepting anti-ship missiles, makes warfare far more manageable. Beyond beachhead clearance, this artillery piece has multiple applications. Modern naval warfare faces intense anti-air and anti-missile pressure, so naval guns now have an additional role, beyond engaging ships and shore targets, intercepting incoming missiles. Especially for slower-flying cruise missiles, naval guns offer the highest cost-effectiveness for interception. Imagine the 155mm gun equipped with specialized anti-aircraft shells, or high-velocity projectiles firing at extreme rates, weaving a dense fire network at sea that no enemy missile can penetrate. A truly thrilling prospect. Don't underestimate its ship-killing capability either. The 130mm shell's limited charge might not deliver a one-shot kill against larger vessels. The 155mm shell boasts significantly increased explosive charge. Even a frigate displacing several thousand tons would suffer severe damage from a single hit. So, which ships will ultimately mount this gun? Beyond the previously mentioned Type 055 destroyer, another possibility cannot be ruled out: the rumored 20,000-ton class destroyer, or some new type of arsenal ship. Online speculation, based on satellite images of new ship sections, suggests its hull width is quite substantial. If scaled proportionally, a full displacement approaching 20,000 tons isn't implausible. A vessel of this magnitude, equipped with a 155mm gun on the forward deck and hundreds of vertical launch cells aft, would truly become a modern naval warfare workhorse. It could handle missions thousands of kilometers away with missiles while managing close-range threats with its main guns. Some even speculate that the Type 076 amphibious assault ship might also mount such a gun, since amphibious ships are designed to transport Marines for beach assaults. Having a large-caliber naval gun capable of providing continuous fire support throughout the operation would significantly alter the pace and success rate of amphibious landings. It's quite intriguing how something deemed obsolete and scrapped by the U.S. Navy could become a highly sought-after asset for our own fleet. This reflects the differing strategic missions and operational environments each Navy faces. Whether this gun will ultimately appear on the Type 055 destroyer, or if other new systems will emerge, remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: this development adds another layer of intrigue to future naval warfare. It represents both a return to fundamentals and an evolution, demonstrating that even in today's era of highly advanced missile technology, the most traditional gunpowder-powered systems can still be engineered into game-changing capabilities.